watching SKST Radio.
Hello, yo, welcome to SKST Radio. This is Kevin Grayson, and I got a special guest today. Miss McCoy is here, and then we have Miss Tyishua in Texas. Woohoo! We're having a girls' day coffee and conversations. That was what this lady said. Oh yeah, absolutely. Can y'all see us okay out there, Aisha?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, is our little microphone in the way?
A little bit.
A little bit. So let me just move that and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Tyishua McCoy, also known as Coach Ty. I do a couple of things. So it's not just one thing that I do, which I find to be very fulfilling. So I'm not only a singer-songwriter, but I'm also an author. I'm a certified master life coach. I'm also a business and professional consultant. Wow. So definitely a lot of things to add to the resume. I have my own nonprofit organization called Build Not Break, and my business and professional coaching and consulting business is called Steps to Connect, which is basically allowing businesses to work with me and I work with them and building a better workforce.
Girl, yes. Press name. Look at her. She's all docked up, ain't she?
Hey, absolutely.
Well, I met this lady at an event with Karen.
Yes.
Karen, our makeup lady, and just met her. She was just awesome, and she had this outfit on that was like to die for, right? So I go, "Oh, girl, that look good."
Yes.
And she goes, Shingar.
Right. Right in the mall.
Absolutely.
Right in her mall.
So I went to Shingar, so we have matching outfits. So one day we got some sisters.
Absolutely. Loving that.
Yeah, just sweet, so sweet. I always follow you on Facebook.
Yes.
So you have a podcast show.
Yes, I have. Well, it's a radio show, but we're actually getting ready to go into the podcast arena, which I'm excited about because this will be, something very special for the show because we're going to start out audio and then hopefully leading into the summertime, we'll actually go video such as this so that the world will be able to follow us as well. The show is called Tough Talk Today.
Yeah.
If you want to log on to the website, you can go to toughtalktoday.com to view some of the previous shows as well as videos that we started when we were first coming out. We did YouTube, then quickly advanced to Atlanta's radio station 105.5 The King, and then we went to Wu-Tang Radio. So now we're getting ready to, move into the phase of Famous Live Radio. We're really excited about that, and we are based in Norfolk, Virginia. So I'm excited about the things that are happening for the show as well.
Yeah. So what is Famous Live?
Famous Live Radio has been around forever. They are actually a station that handles various and different radio shows as well as podcasts. So we are excited about being a part of the family.
Okay.
Yes. Nice. So definitely check them out. Be looking for, some information to come through, not just our website, but all social media platforms so that you'll be able to follow us, and see and hear all the good things that we're going to be talking about. And, a lot of times people like the show is a little taboo because we will have those uncomfortable conversations that people are not willing to have at the dinner table or in the bedroom or amongst families. So we try to broaden our horizon and put things out there so people will feel comfortable. It'll just strike up something because a lot of times they're not ready.
Right. Well, we've been doing SKST Radio for about 10 years now, Aisha?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Amazing. Yes. I love it.
And so we started off in Blog Talk Radio.
Okay.
I came from a radio background. I worked with Tom Jordan back in the day, Steve Harvey when they were in Texas. And so then I started engineering a show for eWomen Network.
Awesome.
And then that was ABC Radio.
Okay.
Interviewed different celebrities and things like that. So that's how we got our niche.
Excellent.
And then we just branched out on our own. I do stage plays. Actually, this book is a stage play.
Oh, okay.
And so do stage play. And that's how I met Miss Aisha. She was my makeup artist. And then we just been snowballing ever since.
Okay.
I took a hiatus when I moved from Texas. And but the show kept going. The radio show kept going.
Awesome.
And we did the show. And I think I finally stopped for maybe 1 year. If not two, maybe 1 year in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's when I started doing the leasing and things like that. So learning a new job, and that job was so demanding.
Absolutely.
That I just couldn't focus on both.
Wow.
And so,
So I'm sure that definitely had to, weigh a little bit heavy for you trying to, figure it out and get some new things,
exactly.
going and moving.
And so with our marketing, I started actually marketing for other people, and it was just didn't sit right. It's kind of like, this is not working. And I kept saying, we're going to do the show again. We're going to do the show again. We're going to do the show again. And then finally, Foster was like, Cammie, you should do your show. No one knows who you are. No one knows you know all these celebrities. No one knows nothing about you. And I'm like, well, that's good. They don't need to know about me.
He's like, but you got to put yourself back out there.
And so he convinced me. And then I called the team, called Aisha, called JBZ. Everybody was like, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Even Preston Taylor, our sportscaster, he was like, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
I'm on board. So we started the show back last year in February.
Awesome.
And we've been here for a whole entire year.
Excellent.
Woo!
Excellent.
So this is like technically our first show with Real Talk
awesome.
for the year.
Okay. This is awesome. Well, definitely be looking for me to give you a phone call and helping me how to, pretty much smooth this out, because I'm so used to either YouTube or radio. So podcasting is definitely going to be unfamiliar territory for me. However, I'm going to enjoy learning the process. So
it's fun. It's fun.
You.
Just like, Aisha and them, she's in Texas. So when the team came down, DJ T Nice, who's been our producer. Also, just to let you know, we have our online radio show too.
Okay.
And so we're in the cloud, and but all of our shows are downloaded for audio
awesome.
on our website. So
okay.
We have a audio show, and DJ T Nice actually plays music. So we have the licenses and all this stuff. So SKST and Street Ground Radio is really a station.
I love it.
And so it's a in the cloud station, but we've been doing good. DJ T Nice has a big following in Canada. So the show.
Well, this lets me know there's definitely so many different reasons why we linked and why, we are in each other's presence, because you're able to add so much, to the light of what I'm trying to gather and what I'm trying to do. So I definitely appreciate any tutorials that you can offer, in this arena, because it can, be just a little bit taxing when you're trying to figure it out,
right?
And you're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to, who could be my guide, who could be my compass. So I definitely appreciate that.
Girl,
yeah.
Aisha can tell you, we've had so many things that was crazy. We actually did a couple of shows and didn't even push record.
So you're like, oh my God, we got to do all of that all over again.
And Funny Karen show was one of them.
Oh my God. I don't feel like we got to do that again.
The whole interview was great. And like I said, a couple of times, it's just not being able to push the button because there's so much going on and you're so excited. And when you're just at home doing it, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But when you don't have an engineer, and like I said, we don't have an engineer.
Right. You're just pretty much, you have to
clicking
the buttons.
You have to do it yourself. So moving to the next level, I think it's really, really cool. Especially with what you guys are doing. I mean, you have a great following. You got a great show.
Absolutely.
I think you guys are just going to transform just easy.
Yes. When I tell you it was, a pivotal moment for Tough Talk today, because it actually came into fruition 2 months before COVID.
Oh, wow.
So it was, it was a very trying time because we were doing our setup in one location. And so we actually had to say to ourselves, okay, so how are we going to make this work? Because now everything is shut down.
Right.
We had to, make sure the camera crew knew where to come. And the ladies that worked with us and, helped us set up, they were absolutely phenomenal. It was just right on point and right on target. So we didn't miss a beat, even through COVID. So it just was tremendous in them actually wanting to see the vision and the mission for the show. And they rode with us till the bitter end.
Right.
Until we came to actually radio. Yeah. When we came to radio, they still pushed us and, gave us our props and made sure that they were, still supportive of what we were doing. So it just made a difference. And Shout out to my co-host Deb. I absolutely love her. She is the yin to my yang on that show. Because a lot of times people really want to work with someone who can balance them out. And I know I'm animated, and I know I'm like, just very charismatic. And she's like, okay, Ty, come on back. And so she'll help me in that regard. And I love that about her. And that truly gives the show exactly what it needs, some realness, and people understand that it is a conversation. So they'll hear us talking and they're like, oh yeah, y'all are very unrehearsed. I said, yes, it's off the cuff. Nobody's got a script. We bring to the table a topic and we just go in. We'll have our statistics and our informational data. But other than that, no, we sit up there having a real good conversation about those ideas and those situations that people are just so fickle about. So it just gives us an opportunity to really sit back and say, okay, who's talking about this and why are they having this conversation? Because obviously it's relevant because somebody brought it to us. And I mean, it'll be different things. We even have a segment in the show called the Dear TT letter. So they'll write into Dear, Tough Talk Today, and have Deb and I actually, dissect and analyze their lives, through that letter. And it's absolutely hilarious because there'd be some people who will, send us back an update, and we are absolutely like thrilled to hear, that they took our advice and actually moved forward on, what we were asking them to do.
Wow. Well, the funny thing is Aisha is a psychic.
Okay.
And so she does our love connection. Right? And so we've had a couple of shows where this girl just blew up off the chain. And then people come back and they go, can you give me another rating? And so she does phenomenal with what she does. And like I said, Preston Taylor is sports. So our format at the beginning, we went back to the old format, like you were saying, script, rehearse, things like that. And so we started bringing the celebrities on this show. Well, this show really was more us.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was more us.
It felt good.
It felt good. And then we were giving scripts to different, like Jay Beasley when he was here. He passed in September, I think. He passed in September. But he had been with us from the whole time, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so Jay Beasley, he looked at the script and he tried to rehearse and stutter. And I'm like, we shouldn't have to work that hard. We shouldn't have to work this hard.
Nobody's paying attention to this crap.
And I posted a blooper not too long ago. My cousin, her name is Krista. I've always called her Crystal. Her name is Krista. And she works with the Defense Department, right? And so I'm looking at her impressive background, reading. I couldn't even get it out. And I'm thinking, all this stuff as I'm reading and I'm stumbling over the words and everything. And I'm like, I promise you I did rehearse the script. So after that, you remember that, Aisha?
I remember.
And my cousin was going, and she still said my name wrong.
First cousin. OMG.
So after that, we decided to be more laxed on this show and just kind of, like you said, talk about the topics that's meaningful. But our one goal is we like to highlight other people.
Absolutely.
So when we're not just talking about, what's going on in our little world, we do highlight businesses. We highlight, we might get a celebrity on the show every now and then. If that's somebody that we've been knowing for a long time, that's just comfortable with us. And then, so that was the spinoff from One-on-One Entertainment. So One-on-One Entertainment is on Thursday evening.
Okay.
And that's the ones that I interview actually movie stars, directors, people from upcoming movies that you're going to see on DVD or, on Apple and all these different places, selected movie theaters. So we get to help them get their movie out. And so we get to preview the movie. So we get that, maybe twice a week? We get movies. So we get free movies twice a week. And so the whole team is able to look at them. And when we're interviewing them, we know the movie, we can talk on it. And these guys are just happy to get it out.
I'm sure,
they're just happy to get it out.
because they can, get some real reviews, from people who, are forthcoming in their opinion. So that does make a difference.
Exactly. So that's what One-on-One is all about. And then eventually Miss Aisha will be spinning off. Every now and then she'll get in there and do a show,
Okay.
fill in her little psychic tales and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that.
Sure.
Just saying.
They're actually cool cards.
She's
As you guys
pretty
are
much
speaking.
she's pretty much dead on. She really is. This is the girl when we were I want to say when we were younger, when I was just doing plays and all this stuff, and she would make sure I look good because I'm a ponytail person. So
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
a hat person, and she would make sure that I look good, the makeup was on, and all this stuff, and I find somebody that I like. So especially remember this guy in the play, and I was like, he is so cute. She goes, she looks at the picture of us, and she goes, there's no connection there. Oh, and she be so right, and it's like,
oh my goodness.
She said, no, I don't see. That's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So she's good at what she, and she's awesome. Right, because I don't believe her. I'd be like, I ain't listening to her.
Right,
she don't know what she's talking about.
And you move forward, and it's an epic fail.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So many times.
You was like, okay, your head is bleeding.
Yeah, there you go. And I know she's like, I told you pretty ass.
I said, but and I think when we talk about listening, that's always the male's persona of women. You guys don't listen. And I'll sit right back and I'm like, y'all don't listen either. I was like, how y'all gonna sit up there and think? I was like, there's no way in the world that you can sit up here and say that it's all about a woman who does not listen.
Right.
I said, because we have something to say, we have something to add. However, if you really wanted to, be that man who was on point, you would really be taking time to hear what we are saying.
Correct. That's the true definition of submission is when I'm submitting my ideas to you.
Hello. There you go.
And we are discussing it.
Yes. I say you have to be able to, know firsthand what it is that I'm trying to get you to understand. And if you're not there, then how are we supposed to be in that together? We can't be unified if you're saying you're listening to me. Really, I think you're just, sitting there really tolerating what it is that I'm saying instead of listening to really
listening
what it is
long enough to speak.
That, so a lot of times, their, way of thinking can be, so off and so crossed, it's not even funny. And I'm thinking, love does not have to be that complicated, nor does relationships. That's real. So, and I even, that was one of my books. I wrote a book called, on War Wounds on the Battlefield of Love. And it just kind of X's out all the psychobabble BS. And it comes from a real perspective instead of, some social science perspective. It's about real life, love life, relationships and sex and self-care of an individual. Like, I need you to master who you are before you start bringing other individuals in your life.
Exactly.
So, just read this, take time to find out who you are and why you're attracting this type of person. If you kind of empty out some of the gook that's going on inside of your heart, mind, and body and spirit, you will actually refill it with something good, decent, and, and great for you. Yeah. And you'll attract that. But a lot of times they don't get that. They don't get that.
That is what I discuss all the time. When people come to me and they're asking about why they haven't found love, I explain to them, you are continuing into that same cycle because you haven't mastered self first. When you love yourself first, you start to attract the same person that you are. You do. You have to sit here and you really have to get into mastering what is it that's inside of me that I am attracting the same person. He might have a different name. He might be in a different body.
Same guy, different name.
Same guy, different name, different body. But you're attracting that person because there's either something in you that has not healed.
Correct. And that goes for men. And that goes for men who women hop. I call it the mini syndrome. You have all these MANY relationships that turn out to be MINI situations. So you put yourself in these situations, you're only with them for what? 2 weeks, 3 months, a year. And there was nothing of substance that came into play. You're like, what? You wasted precious time, adding an individual who, was able to add nothing to you, So it's so disheartening.
And so that's where the woofing comes in. What's in it for me?
Right.
You have to think about yourself when you're looking at a person. Okay, so if I'm gonna put up with this, what is it? What's with it? What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
What am I gonna get out this deal? Because
where's the benefit?
Exactly, exactly. So what is he bringing to the table?
Correct.
And a lot of us sometimes, the women, not me, of course, y'all know I've been single forever. Some women will.
I'm gonna get her to stop saying that, because if she keep putting that in the atmosphere, she gonna stay single forever.
Look at I know that's right. At the end of the day, I don't put up with it. Aisha can tell you.
I don't blame you.
If I don't see the with them,
yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. And if I just have to date for the rest of my life, that's fine.
And
I've been married 3 times.
Gotcha. So at the end of the day, you try to put things out there.
Look, you wouldn't know a good man if you saw one.
Hello.
You got to get in there. You got to get in there.
You do.
So yeah, I do need to stop putting it out.
Yes,
but no,
I'm get them.
but at the end of the day, I've learned myself exactly what we're speaking on right now. I've learned myself enough to know what I want.
Right. And what you don't want.
And what I don't want.
Yes.
And so I've been there, they say third time is the charm. I've been married 3 times. But one time was a no, but that don't even count. Right. But at the end of the day,
he's like, this is where we are. This is
where we are. And so if not that I'm giving up on love or anything like that, but if I do step into it again, I'm trying to live my best life.
Absolutely.
Right now, this is all about Kimmy. I'm sorry, I'm being selfish. But my kids are grown.
No, be selfish. I call it, because I'm in a phase where, I'm being gracefully selfish, but it's gracefully, because like Kimmy said, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. Yeah. And that's in all aspects. Right. And even if you're in relationships, you can still be gracefully focused, and selfish, because there are things that as you grow, you're going to be like, oh, no. No.
Never again.
So you have to, at some point, even in relationships, still be a little selfish to make sure that, you're not giving parts of yourself away that, you rebuilt, to sustain who you are.
Exactly.
So it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
And I'm not the one that's going to dumb myself down.
No.
To appease anybody.
Keep that light shining.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I tell anyone, keep that light shining. What is your take on that, Aisha? When you're talking to women and you're wanting to, absolutely have them get a mindset of, you really need to take care of yourself. Like, I understand you want a man. I understand you want relationship. I understand you want love. But in order to have all 3 of those balance out who you are, you need to first do what? What would be your take on that?
Number one, you have to love yourself. And that really means knowing who you are. It's not about just giving yourself positive affirmations. It's really about taking care of self and understanding, what is it inside of me that makes me tick? What are my needs? Are my needs going to be met? What am I giving to this relationship? What are my expectations? Those are the things that a lot of women do not think of. We're just the pick me. I can meet all your needs. What about you?
Right.
So what happens, you get in this relationship, right? And you get the guy, but you're not going to be able to keep him, because at some point he's going to lose respect for you because you don't respect yourself. You have no boundaries.
Correct. This is so correct.
Yeah.
And my thing is, once you get to a place, because you just spoke about expectations, I talk about in the book, and I let women know what the difference is between expectations and standards. Standards are the things that you're definitely not going to allow yourself to, go through and put up with. Expectations are, well, I might be able to deal with this if he does this, so, I want commitment over compromise. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want to be able to be with someone and they actually say, you know what? I don't want to compromise every single thing about you or who I am. So let's commit to each other. Because if we're committed, then we can work through those things instead of just saying, okay, well, look, we got to compromise on that thing.
Yeah.
Everything does not have to be a compromise.
No, it doesn't.
And then you keep doing that. At what point is the relationship authentic?
It's not.
At what point is that relationship genuine?
It just killed it all.
Absolutely, with all these little innuendos of, you trying to build the perfect situation when the perfect situation is already there. You
That's
just
right.
actually have to commit to what it is.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know,
Exactly.
if we're at the same place at the same time, wanting the same things, why would not it work? You know, why wouldn't we work if we're wanting the same things at the same time? Because it can't be one going 55 and one going 80.
There you go.
You know, relationship, is all about timing. But however, it does not have to be time sensitive. Because a lot of times people sit up there and they're like, well, I'm just ready to do it. So then you have the person out there saying, well, you don't think you're moving too fast? And then you have the person who's like, well, no, I really want to take my time. Okay, then get with somebody who want to take their time too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't get with somebody who's ready right now for love.
You know, the jackrabbit and the turtle.
Because you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. Then
Yeah.
it doesn't happen that way and in that regard. But I sit back and I look at some situations, and even in my coaching and some of the clients that I have, and I listen to them, and I think you can probably appreciate this, Aisha. I just sit back and I let them know, well, if y'all stop trying to change each other instead of changing your mind, we would be okay. Stop
Yes.
trying to change each other. I want to change your mind. Because if I can get to your mind, then the things that you feel passionate about concerning me and you, then we can move forward.
Story.
We can move forward. But if somebody's like, you trying to change how I dress, how I eat, how I move, how I walk, how I talk, who I hang around, what I'm doing. No.
That's an element of control. That means you lack control yourself. So I definitely don't want to be involved with that.
But it's men and women out here, because that person does exist. It does.
Mhm.
That will actually try to change who you are as an individual. Like you said, I'm not dummying down and I'm not dimming my light, for nobody. Obviously, there was something about me that attracted you.
Right.
So why would you come in to my life and try to maneuver something else and something different? Because my thing is, if I'm presenting to you who I am and I'm consistent, believe that.
That's me.
Believe who I am, and vice versa. Gentlemen, don't come in the real you had behind door number 3, and you giving me something consistent for 3 weeks, and then after you get the nana, then you want to do something different.
That was
Yeah.
just to check things out.
Yeah.
What has changed?
So I think as women, we just really need to be sure about, like you said, continue to master ourselves, continue to love who we are, and be gracefully focused and selfish in the things that we want to become.
Right.
Because I can't see myself continuing to tear down and build myself up after every single relationship.
Yeah.
At some point, my foundation is still firm. So I should not have to keep rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding every time someone tears me down. It to me, it just gives no headway to the next level of love that you want to take.
Absolutely.
Because somebody's out there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just we keep sometimes we done already seen them.
You wouldn't know a good man if you saw one.
Sometimes we done already seen them. We done
There you
already
go.
seen them. We
There
done
you
already
go.
talked to them.
There you go.
And put things in place. So yeah. That's good stuff.
It's so funny though. So Curtis, I don't know if you know Curtis, but he's like my little god brother here.
Okay.
And he's on the show. He's a co-host. He's out of town this weekend, and he's always screening since I moved here. He's just been my protector since I've been here. Thank God for him.
Right.
And so he's always screening now. When I meet someone, and so
that's good to have.
it is. It's real good to have. So this guy was talking to, just talking to him, and this guy said, "I bet you bougie."
Ooh.
And really, Foster kind of mentioned that to me before, and so I was like, the definition is different for different people.
Absolutely.
From what I've figured out, So, and I'm asking this guy, why would you say that?
Right.
And he goes, well, check this out.
What was his definition?
Well, like you taking your dog to the vet.
That's bougie?
Or like you taking your dog.
I thought that was humane.
Okay.
Right. They do get hurt and sick. I mean,
Okay.
That's bougie.
That's bougie.
it's bougie.
That means you don't have any money
Right.
and you probably never taken your dog to get checked up or anything like that.
Or you don't have a pet, period. Because
Right.
if
So
you
you
have
don't
a fur
understand.
baby, that's
Yeah.
your fur baby. You know, and in this day and time, you know, people are, you know, slowly but surely realizing that pets are part of the family, you know, at the end of the day.
Yes.
And you're going to be
They
treated
are.
as such. You have to take care of it as such. You know, you have to go to the doctor.
Absolutely.
You have to groom it. You have to make sure that it's healthy. You have to make sure that, you know, the paws are, you know, nicely shaped up and, you know, the nails are clipped, because you have to, just as you groom yourself or a child,
yes,
you have to do the same thing for your pet.
exactly.
At the
So
end of
that
the
guy
day.
could not understand why I had to spend my Saturday taking the dog to the groomers and to the vet.
Oh wow!
And he had an
Did he
issue.
have children?
He did. He had a child.
Okay.
But the child was not there with him now. Of course,
Okay.
the child was, you know, he
Okay.
probably left the child at a young age. Who knows?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, that was enough for me.
Right. Well, a dog don't stop at age 18. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's not like a child, you know, the dog turn 18 and the dog leave and go on and live his life.
Right.
Man,
They're like
that's
kids
a
that never
lifelong
grow up.
commitment. Right. A dog is a lifelong commitment. It's, you know, until one of you go, you're committed.
Right.
I mean, people need to understand that this is your pet. I have girlfriends that have pets, and that's their fur baby. And I mean, she's like, everywhere I go, you know, I take my dog with me. My dog goes with me. My dog is with, you know. And some people are like, because if they don't have pets, no, they will not understand the dynamic. Yes, some people pets. Yes, some people pets, you know, they let them get up on their furniture. Yes, some people let their pet eat from, you know, the same bowl that they eat out of. Everybody's different. Yeah. But no judgment zone. You know what I'm saying? That's your pet. That's how you live. That's how you function. That's the dynamics of your family with your pet. You know, don't rip me out. You know, because this is how I want to take care of my dog.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, Kurt was like, he ain't for you.
Like, keep it moving with my bougie self.
That's
how I'm
gonna if someone ask that question, are you bougie? That means, you know, just keep on going. That person is right. Just not the person.
Because my thing is, if you even have to speculate that type of person, you know, coming out, you haven't even had a conversation with me, and you're automatically
judging.
Yeah, you just automatically put me in a category.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You know, I know this is. What if I say, "Are you a dog?"
Right.
You know, do you have dog ways? You know, are you a gentleman or are you a boy? You know, what if I come at you like that? That's, to me, you know, I feel like you just give me the same respect that is due to yourself. Exactly. You know,
that's right.
Don't come at me with that craziness. And you know, and let's just talk about this. You know, you ladies, let me know how you feel. Let's talk about how women are shady against women. Because a lot of times men will totally disrespect us because we disrespect each other. And they don't see the common bond amongst us. Because the one thing I will see amongst some men, they will pull each other out of ditch in a minute.
Yeah.
Ladies, you let each other stay right on up in there. Girl, how you gonna get out? How you gonna get out? Because I'm not helping you. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's pretty, I mean, I see more women that are crabs in a barrel than just Black people as a whole, as a unit in a barrel. We will tear each other up, scratch each other down, and pull wigs off and talk about each other and slander each other. And I'm thinking, I used to have so many women who would be up in my business that I felt like I had to give out some W-2s. I'm like, what is going on? Why are y'all so consumed with who I'm with, who I date, what I do? And my cousin told me, she said, I'm gonna just tell you straight up, girl. Sometimes, you know, they look at you like you're a celebrity. I said, I don't understand how and why. She said, you have a certain persona about yourself that people want to know what's going on. Who are you? Why are you the way that you are? I said, well, I wish they would hand me some coins as they up in my business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm like, I don't mind playing this movie as long as somebody's invested. Right. You know, I'm good with that. I can do that. You know, you want to know so much, I suggest you add to the bank of time.
I'm here.
I know that's right.
I'm here.
The Bank of Ty is always taking investments. You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking for venture capitalists. Come on. Yes, you can reach me at, please. I'm so ready, to answer any questions and be available to you, when ready. If you wish to invest in the Bank of Ty, we can talk about my business all day.
That is too funny.
Because that's what it's
true,
about.
though.
If you're investing in me, I'm gonna tell you about my business. Isn't that what banks do?
Yeah.
When a
That's
bank
right.
says, "Hey, you want some money? If you want us to invest in you, we need to know what you gonna do with our money."
Yeah.
Exactly. I need a business plan. I need, some profit and loss information. I need to know over the next 5 years, what are you going to do? Where are you going to be? Are you going to be around? Who are you, who's going to be your audience? They want to know all your business. Am I right?
That's
Before,
right.
before they pay God. So why is it that we as people, women, why we can't have the same mindset? You know what I'm saying? You want to be in my business? Invest. Invest. I got you. You will know all about this.
I just had this discussion with Cammie before we got on here about revamping circles and stuff like that. If you have people that aren't valuing you the way that you need, it's time to move around. It's time to move around.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
And it makes a difference.
Your network is your net worth. So, I surround myself with people that are going to build me up, not tear me down. So, we just got through talking about this.
And be around women that will hold you accountable.
That's right.
If we're going to be in the presence of each other in whatever capacity, whether it's business, it's friendship, it's relational, I want to be able to know, okay, Cammie, you just said to me, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm looking for you to do that because those were things that you said you wanted to do. And those were things you knew that would make you better. And you knew those were things that were going to place you in a place of success. So guess what I'm going to do as your friend?
Hold me accountable for it.
I'm like, girl, wait a minute. You just said you was going to be on this train. What happened? Yeah. Girl, I met Jim.
Nah.
And Jim came in like a lightning from the skies of blue. And I just knew that he was just the one, girl, and I just had to take 5 off that train. So we're going to put you back on track. Okay, so we're going to have to see, is Jim adding to what you said you were going to be doing? And that's all. And that's the only question I'm going to ask. You know what I'm saying? If Jim is adding to that, girl, put him on the train with you.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all ride together.
But you know what? That's good. I like being held accountable.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fall into that, because how can I teach other women not to fall into that?
Amen.
When I'm there too.
Amen.
So you got to always look at yourself first.
Absolutely.
Before you try to give that out.
Absolutely.
And so
absolutely.
You hit it right on the nail.
And people don't understand, and talking about leadership is not about dictatorship. It's about actually walking along in the same blueprint and example that you're actually speaking of yourself in. So if I'm going to be a leader, I need to be walking in it. I need to be talking about it. I need to be presenting that in order for people to, have an idea of what it is that I want you to get on board with. Because they're not going to get on board if they see me out here doing the craziness. I'm not going to be held accountable if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. So I need people to kind of, wake up, girl, get it together. Come on. Yeah. So yes, it makes a difference, when we sit up here and we talk about things that are going to, elevate us, and just not elevate us so that we can look good for other people, but so we can help the next one. Yeah. That's what it's about, because there's somebody out here, and little do we know, because I found out kind of late, people really do watch us. People really, and I mean, they don't watch us on, the podcast. No, they paying attention to your every move, your every word. They hang on it, and they look for you to make that mistake. They look for you to fall so that they can have something to say. So I learned kind of late, that people really do watch what you do, and it's so tremendous, because it's sad because that lets me know you don't have no business.
Yeah, well, yeah, at the end of the day, those people like that, I think me and Aisha was talking about this too, because I'm new here. My family is there.
Yeah.
And I took that, I made that choice to move so I can better my life.
Right.
So I can explore and do different things. But when you in a new state, now it's hard. Those who picked up and they know exactly what I mean. But the connections and getting in the circles, that's hard too.
Absolutely.
Because if it wasn't for Karen actually scooped me into her little group.
Oh, awesome.
And that's how I met you, and it just snowballed from there.
Right.
But if Karen hadn't took the time to say, hey, Kimmy, come over.
Absolutely.
Kimmy, come on. I'm in your circles to get people in the
Yeah,
mall.
absolutely.
But outside of that, that's not my life. You know what I mean? That's my professional life.
Understood.
So to do what I do on the side as my fun thing, how do you meet people?
Right.
How do you get in those circles? So I always say it takes one person, just one person.
Absolutely.
It might not even be your friend.
Right.
That it took, she might have been your friend today. She might not be your friend tomorrow.
Right.
But that one person, God put it on her heart to do what she did.
Yeah.
And you'll always be grateful for that. And so I am grateful for the blessings I've gotten since I've been here and moving into the different circles with the people, because I feel like those women got it. Like yourself, like T, like Karen. Those women got it.
Absolutely.
They're not the crabs. They're the people who trying to lift you up. And those are my sheroes. Those are the women. If you ever see me post shero on my social media, those sheroes, like y'all weren't peoples. That woman, if I call her, she's on my show.
Awesome.
She's just there for me. Another lady, Linda Henderson, she owns a whole chicken chain in Dallas.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Henderson's Chicken. And people like her, she gives back to the community. They are there because they know I was there for them. You know what I mean? So I want to be that person that you can always say, well, you know what? Cammie will be there for you.
Absolutely.
If nothing else. Cammie will be there for you. And that's what I love. And you can kind of pick up on some people, but some people you can't.
Yeah, some people are very hard to read.
She comes in it for me.
Yeah, because some people are hard to read.
I'm not that. I just think everybody should be like me.
Well, and I get that. And when you say that, it just takes me back to, I come in trusting already. I'm not that, you got to earn it first type person. And honestly, I'm giving of who I am, and I receive that back. If you do something to disturb that trust, or that seed that I've already planted for that relationship to cultivate, then I'm looking at you sideways. So, but I'm not a sideways eye person until I see something that you've done to break that bond or destroy that vision that I had for the friendship relationship or professional, the professional relationship. After that, then I'm leery. I'm gonna be a little bit standoffish once I find out, oh, you run your mouth, you talk too much. You're telling people about my business or things that I've discussed with you. And I shouldn't have to give a disclaimer. Every time we have a conversation, I shouldn't say, girl, don't tell nobody, don't say. Because if I'm entrusting information to you and I'm forthcoming with it and I'm willing, why can't it rest on your breast? Right. It should be able to stay right here. Exactly. It should not be up for discussion with anyone else. News article. Forecast for today.
Right.
And so got into a fight. Now that it shouldn't be that way. So I think in order to pay it forward, as you were saying, when people come into your life for a reason, season, or lifetime, whatever the just cause for the connection, it should be that it's purposeful. It should not be something that's a total wreck that's going to happen in your life, because I want to be able to pay it forward. I want to be able to do that. So if you came in my life for whatever reason, I want to be able to tell someone else about that relationship so that they could do the same thing. Exactly. That's what it's about.
And keep it positive.
Absolutely.
And so at the end of the day, that's what I'm all about. I feel like.
I feel
like, and I should correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't make a big scene.
Right.
If it didn't work out,
it didn't work out.
You don't hear me.
Right. That's it.
I've just,
time out, flag and play.
I've distanced myself.
really quick.
Yes.
I will. I mean,
Yes.
at the end of the day,
I
you
have
hear from me.
I know how to go black.
You know.
I will. I can fade to black really quick. And and it's no burden on me because I'm not going to invest in it any longer. If you cause some type of pain, or discomfort for me to now be around you or associate myself with you, I'm gonna just fade to black. There's no need for me to keep talking
What
about
I call that is returning that energy to sender.
Ah,
We send that right back to you.
You're like,
And we
oh,
gracefully bow out.
yes, yes, yes. Yes,
That's yours.
absolutely. Yeah, because to me, at the end of the day, I don't want, case in point, I just found out recently a young lady who I thought was a really good friend of mine that I have known for over almost 15 years. I opened up my door to this young lady. We done broke bread together. You've been a part of my family. You done seen me cry. My ear has been, to your chest. I was one to you. And I just found out recently that this young lady was saying some awful things about me. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I've always come to this person's defense because every time somebody said, "Well, I don't like how she," I was like, "Oh, she was probably upset. She was probably." I'm like justifying, trying to figure out why you saw this person in a different light that I didn't.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm always wanting them to look at them the way that I see them.
Right.
And I'm thinking, this person really was running me in the ground. And it was very, very hurtful when I found out, because I'm thinking, wow, did they know that I'm always defending them and that I looked at them as a true friend or associate, that I would never put them out there like that or make them feel less than in the presence of others? Yeah. It was hurtful. So all I did was just cut you off. Right. And I'm pretty sure at this point, they know why. I don't have to explain. And I'm not even looking for an apology from them. I'm not even honestly, I know they know because they haven't even called and said, "Hey, why you don't answer my calls anymore? Hey, why can't I find you on Facebook? Hey, why is it that I don't see you with us when we go out in a group? Why is it that they haven't even?" So if I know they haven't taken the time to ask why I'm no longer present with them, they know why I did it. And so, like you said, energy return to sender.
Take that over there.
Because I'm gonna continue to elevate and you're gonna be stagnant. You're gonna be staying right there because I see where you invest your mind, your thought process, and who you are. If it's right there, if that's where you are and that's how you generate, anything that you need to function in your life, is gonna continue to be right there. And then I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And you're gonna be mad. Yeah. You gonna, because you still investing and you making me VIP. You still making me VIP in your life. And it's okay. You continue, because I can't give, honestly, I can't give someone that much power. I can't allow myself to keep, having someone on my mind or in my thoughts that I can't stand them so bad that I gotta say something about them. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you know what? You the one who have to get that suit.
Absolutely.
Or wake up looking like a raccoon.
Hello. And I got to keep it fresh. I'm almost 50. So I got to keep it fresh. Almost. See? So I was like, no, I got to keep it fresh. I got to stay preserved. So I don't want to invest, that much of, my life into someone who's meaning me no good. Exactly. You're adding nothing to me.
And it goes back to your topic at the beginning. Crabs in the bucket.
Yeah.
A barrel. And it's sad that we can't work together like this.
Right.
But I do love the fact, like I was talking to one of the movie producers on the show. That's her thing, pulling up women. So yes. in her movie, everybody on her set was female.
Wow.
The cinematographer, everyone was female.
Right.
And the lady that was on this same movie called Bite Me, this was the lady from the American Horror Story. Okay. She was in that movie. And she bragged on the both of their names were Naomi. But she bragged on the director, actress Naomi, and how she pulled together and how she worked with the women.
Okay.
So stuff like that, it makes my heart feels really, really, really good because some of us do pull together. And the company that I worked for, E-Women Network, it was all about women, and I think that's what got me started on that kick. Sandra Yancey was just all about women, 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 helping women connect, and her program is good. It really is. But the thing that turned me off from Sandra, because it goes back to I'm helping you and I'm helping you, but I'm not helping her,
Right.
type thing. So with E-Women Network, I was inspired. I wrote my first book, which was the first version of this, and I was excited because other authors were on the radio show, and I was the producer of the radio show for ABC. And I just had Thelma from Good Times, right? She had just did a book and everything. So I was inspired. It was like, wow, you know, I could do this. I could do this. But the time Sandra Yancey saw that I was trying to pull up, she just went broke.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I hope you're not doing this on my time. Ooh. You know, it flipped.
Okay.
You know, it just flipped. And so eventually, this was like, I guess right after September 11th and all this stuff going on, it flipped, and she laid me off, and which, you know, everything was going on. A lot of layoff was happening at that time,
Right.
but she wanted me not to do radio anymore, and I needed to sign this letter saying that I wouldn't do radio for at least 2 years. But this is all I've done all my life.
But you weren't competing with her. So to sign a non-compete, that means you got to be competing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, your severance packages don't mean that much to me.
Right.
That I have to change my livelihood to make you happy.
Right.
Because you're about women, your company's about women, but
you're not about women. Yeah, you don't even believe in your own vision and mission.
There you go. Now, you inspired me, you know, but I guess because I worked for you, I wasn't good enough, I guess,
right,
to earn what you're giving to these other women. And that's really hard on me. And at the end of the day, I was done with E-Women Network. They called me because I told the unemployment office this was the situation. They never gave, you know, any money or anything. And they kept calling me, you know, why are you, you know, I don't even want to talk to you guys anymore.
right.
I'm done. You know, so I took it on myself when I formed SKST, Special Case Specialties, to give back. And that's what we do. Not only just to the women, but for all small businesses. I started my own nonprofit after that, working with children. And then after that, I worked for Girls Incorporated and doing my SKST. We had Texas Telethon, we had dancers, I had a dance studio. So I snowballed from E-Women Network, doing everything that I like doing.
Right.
You know, doing everything I like doing. But I'll always be grateful because they gave me the vision.
Yeah.
You know, it showed me when I met Stephen Graham, it's a picture over there with Stephen, that I was working for E-Women Network when I met Stephen.
Right.
You know, and all the employees, they should meet Cammie. He should meet Cammie because Cammie just wrote a book. And the staff is who grabbed me to go and meet Stephen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it just got me going. It just got me going. So hats off to Nippy Jones from K104. I used to manage him in Dallas, and that got me going, working with the radio station and getting the, you know, street jobs and getting all the different celebrities,
right,
and learning all this stuff, you know, throughout college, just learning everything. And so you have to give back in order to receive.
Absolutely.
You have to give back
Absolutely.
in order to receive.
And you know what? And it's sad because that woman who was so pressed on trying to stop what you saw a vision for yourself because of hers, I would have taken that as a compliment. You know, you're moving forward and you're manifesting things in your life now due to the fact that I was able to, you know, fulfill something in your mind and heart's desire. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I've had people who've done that. Like I had a women's organization called Seven City Divas. I created that organization because it was about, you know, assisting women and creating wholeness within themselves. because I wanted to have women alike who were strong, yet there might have been some instances where there was brokenness, there was hurt, there was harm, there was tragedy, and we could come together and help each other heal. And in that regard, there were some women, and it started out huge, massive, and then it kind of diminished, because there were women who were in it for the wrong reasons. And I did not want women in there if they had their own ideas. I have a mission. I have a vision. So you coming in with a different idea than what's already put on the platform, it doesn't make make sense.
This is for like minded.
Exactly. This is for like minded. And if you can't see, what I've put in place, then no, this isn't for you. And then there were some women who were upset and mad because they didn't like the way that I structured things and did things. I said, well, that's always going to be. Everybody is not going to be happy with what I put in place because I'm holding you to a different standard. I want ladies, I want women. And that means there are certain things that you're going to have to curtail that you're no longer need to be associated with or do or say or, walk in. It's no longer, available to you. Right. You have to cut those things off because now you're being held to a higher standard. So my thing is, I'm looking at trying to add things to your resume, not take it away.
Exactly.
Right.
If you're not willing to, walk with me in that regard, then it's okay. But those ladies who left, some of them were like, you know what? This is what I took from it. This is what I got from it. And as long as you took something, I don't care if it was one thing or 200 things, as long as you took something that I was able to lay on your heart and you felt comfortable and good about, that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah.
So that young lady should have took that as a compliment that there was something you took away.
Exactly.
It was a good takeaway.
And the crazy thing was, like I said, it was women.
Right.
And her clients were the women. So it wasn't specifically just her.
Right.
It was the other women that we were talking to and interviewing and
right.
People at the conference. I remember at one of the conferences, she rented the convention center, and the whole week you have to be at the conference, right? And so I remember I was doing registration, and I was overwhelmed, just so overwhelmed. And this lady, she was a business coach.
Okay.
She said, "Do you have any help?" And I'm like, "No, I'm doing this all by myself." And it was like 3,000 women at this conference. This lady put her purse down, and she came over. She started helping me pass out the name badges at the conference. And she is, I can't think of her name right now, but she's still on my Facebook page as of today. So my Facebook page, it might be crazy, but it is because I've met pretty much everybody on my page I know or have met, and I'm over the 5K.
Right.
And I should have moved over to like the
second book,
the second
or group,
the group, yeah. And so I should have done that, but I really just wanted to keep that closeness of being able to look at people and say happy birthday to them and things like that. But a lot of the people, it's not very many people on my page that I can tell you that I haven't met in person throughout my life. And that's really cool. And that's why I love the Facebook, because I can keep up with family members and everything. Absolutely. On that page, but it started there, So you got high school friends, you got college friends,
absolutely,
you got, every facet of life balled up into that Facebook page where I can go, my coworker from da 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 da, but this friend from that, and like the lady, she just, she was just great, and she was a business coach, and I followed her for a long, long time, in her life and what she's done. And there's another lady I met. Her name is Cammie Parker.
Oh, wow.
Which was funny because she goes, when I first met her, she goes, "Are you a real Cammie?" And I'm like, "Huh? What does that mean?" She said, a lot of people's name, they say their name's Cammie, but they're really short for something else. And so I said, "Well, I guess I'm not a real Cammie because I'm Kamala." And so she was like, "Well, I'm Cammie." And she said, "Nice to meet you." And the funny thing, I was on Facebook last night, and I just posted your picture up, right?
Right.
Been on the show. She instant messaged me, and she goes, "When am I gonna be on your show?" And I haven't spoken to her in years. And so Cammie Parker is going to be on the show the third week in March, the week after the conference.
Okay.
And so
awesome.
Cammie Parker will be on the show.
Awesome.
And so it's just so funny how you just meet these people and build these relationships. And I love the fact that the ones that are really true-hearted people don't, I guess my message is don't because some woman done you wrong and tried to take from you, steal from you, use you, abuse you. Don't break those relationships because, like you said, you might have someone new that you can cultivate.
That is correct.
I have, and I should tell you, I have broken off relationships with friends that I've grown up with,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, after you let it go,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to hold on to anything, just let it go.
Yeah.
And if it works out, it works out. If it don't, you already know how to handle them with long handle spoon.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nothing negative. Just keep it positive because life is too short.
And it is.
Life is too
And
short.
and situations do come full circle, Um, honestly, I used to wonder why God wanted me to start a women's organization. Honestly, Cammie, it was I it was just unbeknownst to me because I'm like, Lord, I done been hurt by these folks. I don't really like us like that. They catty and petty, they always looking at your man. Why me?
For
And
healing, for healing, and also you've been called to action. It's for healing. It's for growth. We get put in these challenges to challenge our soul and to allow our soul to evolve and grow. So you've been called.
And
he tapped me, I just was like, really? Her? Her? And he was like, yeah, her, And it gets to a place where, I thank God that he is elevating me mentally and emotionally, because I do receive healing from when I actually, gravitate to those women and help them through whatever situation they're going through. And I tell all of them, I said, the only way that I'm able to do anything that you're asking me to do is you have to be willing. I can't do it if you're still stuck, in a mindset that's stubborn. I said, you have to be willing to move out of that situation and out of that mindset in order for us to really start the healing process. I said, because I can sit up here and tell you all day, my life story and what happened to me. I've been homeless. I've had judicial issues. I was raped by with my first child. I graduated with, a child in my stomach, 8 months pregnant. And then when I came from the hospital from having that baby, I didn't know where I was going to live. I had a mother who, was a substance abuse user. And so was my dad. I can go through all of that. However, it didn't stop me from climbing my ladder.
There you go.
I could have stayed at the bottom. I could have stayed right there and not put my first foot, on the line. But I said, no, I'm not going to allow this to dictate my future.
Exactly.
I can't.
Absolutely.
Because I could have been the woe is me. I could have been, this is why I can't function because my mother was an alcoholic and my dad was an abuser. And this is it. And the crazy thing is, those situations exist. However, you gotta want to move.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta want to move. It's not anybody telling you not to feel any type of way about those situations.
You just don't dwell in it.
You
Cannot dwell in that space. You have to keep moving.
You can, and that's the only way that healing will take place.
Right.
That's the only way that you're really going to see that there are other things that life has available for you, and it's going to show your strength, and you're going to be able to be a testimony to others.
Exactly.
And that's where I felt like when I created that women's organization, that was going to help cultivate those situations, because I said, okay, I know that this is my assignment. I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I want to continue to help women. However, Lord, I said, I'm still getting hurt in the process. He said, yeah, but you handle it like a champ. And I had to really look at it in that regard, because I'm like, I'm growing as I, still go through these situations. And I'm like, yeah, because 1994 Ty would have did something different.
In order to heal from old wounds, they have to resurface, and you have to face them head on. So if it doesn't happen the first go round, you better believe it's coming back up.
Eventually.
Yes.
God
will have a way of resurfacing that.
And it's like, okay, how you gonna do this? How are you gonna, get this to a place of understanding and healing and fulfillment?
Unless you haven't gone through it yourself. That's right. You've been called.
And I've even had people who even ask me, how are you able to help people in this regard? How are you able to help people in marriage if you're going through in your marriage, or if you've been divorced? I said, if I'm not mistaken, when you go look for a doctor, do you ever look for a doctor who's never had surgery? Do you ever look for a doctor who's never diagnosed a patient?
I just got through telling somebody that
You look for
I have
someone
a
who has
female OB
experience.
for a reason. A man cannot tell me about my body. Not the woman.
You better.
I'm sorry.
That's all I'm saying.
I need someone who has some experience. So why wouldn't Kimmy? I want to start a podcast, but I'm gonna go to somebody who hasn't done one. No, I'm gonna come to the woman who got one and doing it well. I'm gonna speak to the experience. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's the same situation when it comes to someone who needs to know, how do I surpass this situation? How do I make it better? How can I make my marriage function in the light that I need it to function in? I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be totally, in a place where I can be objective and talk to you about you and your mate and how you guys need to come together. Right. So because lessons have been learned, through trial and error.
There you go.
So if I'm able to give you, what my trial and error periods actually were successful in, that's going to open you up to say, well, you know what, let me try that.
Exactly. There you go. Let me at least try it.
Yeah. So for someone to come to me and say, how you going to talk to somebody about marriage and you've been divorced and, you and your husband might be going through okay. And the same way someone comes to you and say, hey, I need my hair, braided this type of way. You're going to go to the person who's going to braid it that type of way.
There you go.
You're going to go to somebody who does makeup a certain type of way.
Exactly.
You're going to go to somebody who can put clothes on you and fit you and style you a certain type of way because you have seen their work,
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, people, please don't, just have the misconception about no one can tell me something,
right.
If they don't have the experience. No, I have the experience. That's why I'm able to tell you. That's why I'm able to help you through the process, So it works, even in my business, Steps to Connect. Same thing. People are like, well, you're able to speak to leadership. You're able to speak to management. You're able to speak to professionalism. You're able to speak to, certain situations concerning customer service. Yes, because I've worked in this for over 27 years. So yes, I'm able to speak to the experience and how you can elevate and be successful in business. Absolutely.
Yeah. Why would you not speak to this lady? Why would you not?
Why would you not? I'm the walking, talking customer service queen over here. So I'm going to, allow people their process, but at the same time, allow me mine. Allow me mine. Give me the opportunity to speak to the success that can happen in your life, through my experience, through the things that I know, through the things that I've researched, and through the things that I've learned.
Well, that's how successful people become successful.
Absolutely.
And so the people that feel like this is not the route to go, this is why you're in the situation you're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't want, anyone to ever take for granted that I can't invest time in you because you can't speak to a certain situation because you've gone through it. You can definitely speak to it.
Exactly. That's why you can speak to it.
And the thing is, and I think you can attest to this too, Aisha, I don't necessarily have to take your advice. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you giving it to me. Because if I do decide to take it and use it, at least I can say, well, at least I did try that and it didn't work for me. Or I did try that and it didn't work for me.
And people are different, people are different. Outcomes come out different. And sometimes what God has for me
may not be for
you. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So at least
I always tell people, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and that's it. Everything's not going to resonate with you, but there might be something in there that I'm, giving you that you might be able to utilize, and that's fine. And if there's nothing, then that's okay too. But I've done what I needed to do,
Yes, and these are things that, people can continue to build on, especially as women. I had a young lady call me the other day, Cammie, and my heart was just so full when she asked me to be a part of her organization. She said, they just made me the ambassador for Activate Women, which is an organization out of Africa. And she said, I've been following you. You have been an inspiration to me. You have been an inspiration to many. And it made
What was her name?
Absolute. Well, her name is Absolute, but they call her Portia Bryant.
Sound like the lady that did the African thing with the babies, right? That's why I was asking. Because it was a lady that we brought on the show that was trying to help the people in Africa too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
young
So this
babies
was
having babies.
okay. So this one is in reference to women building women, to be successful. And, we're going to have an event coming up soon. And I definitely want you to be a part of that, Cammie. I'll be sending you some information in reference to that because we're looking, for like-minded women who want to come in and want to be a part of something that will help, elevate women to the next level. Because a lot of times, most women don't know where to start. They know they have greatness in them. However, they don't know how to hone it in,
Exactly.
and package it well, so that it's presented properly. So we want to be able to do that and have women come out and feel good about what they're doing and what they know and how they want to present themselves. So it makes a difference. I want to keep building and bringing in women who are, wanting to do that continuously, not just here in Hampton Roads, but everywhere, internationally, globally.
But you got somebody in Texas.
Yep. And because we're gonna be trying to get a chapter there. Trust me.
Yes.
We're gonna be building chapters everywhere. And that's how it starts. We're gonna see what we're able to do to, accomplish things here. And then we're gonna continue to build outward, because that's gonna make a difference when we have women who can be in leadership and show, hey, this is the vision and mission for this organization. Are you able to carry it out? You know what I'm saying? Or is it mission impossible? So we want to be able to position people to actually continue to mold and build other people who are of like minds as well. So yeah, so be looking for me, Aisha. Looking for me. So yes, this is going to be something that I think is very well needed with women throughout the Hampton Roads area. And I think it's going to create healing, in its proper respect.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. But speaking of events, we have an event coming up on the 19th of March, and Aisha will be in town. She will be in Hampton Roads.
Good to have you. Yes.
And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
one of our guest presenters will be this young lady right here.
I can't wait to meet you in the
Yes.
flesh.
You have a couple of books, though, right?
Yeah, I have a book called I Support Her, which is an anthology. It's a book, based on 10 chapters of 10 different women that have, actually conquered, and survived and thriving now through their trials and tribulations. I have a chapter in there, which is chapter 8, which is called Beauty for Ashes, Tragedy of a Childhood Trauma. And it just speaks, in light of the things that have happened to me through a short period of time. I mean, it's hard to, kind of squeeze, 18 years of life in 25 pages. However, you just want to give to, add to the facts. So I just pretty much, took all the little details out and gave you, chunks of the big stuff, just so you could get a true picture of what things carried me through and why I'm shaped and talk and walk in the light of who I am today. Because I'm going to tell you, folks don't even understand. It was not pretty when I was coming up. It was not pretty at all. And hopefully I was able to, allow women to see, wow, if she was able to really surpass and get through this situation, and it sounds so very much similar like mine, I too can do the same thing. Because there was, I didn't have any parental guidance, nobody was pushing me and, ushering me out there at a certain period of time of my life, that was very heavy and, very scary. And I just got to a place where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to have to do it on my own, and I found that strength. Of course, God was guiding me and leading me, and he encamped his angels over me. And I thank God for that guidance. And, I want people to recognize that you can do it too. You still just have to have, and it also depends on, your background, and where you come from. And if there was anyone who gave you strength in the beginning, because a lot of times people are born in this world and they don't have it. It hasn't been passed down. But I thank God, I had more of that in my life. And so, yeah, I wandered off for a minute, but I came right back to it, and that's prophecy. So, just, keep believing and thinking that, things can happen in the best regard for your life. You got to stay there.
Well, you guys will get to meet this lady up front in person
Absolutely.
on the 19th. But you can also see her before then too. Give people your
Absolutely.
contact information.
Absolutely. You can, as I was saying for the radio show, Tough Talk Today, you can go to toughtalktoday.com if you want to email us or send us a Dear TT letter. That's Ty and Deb at toughtalktoday.com. And if you are actually looking forward to upscale and upgrade your business, you can go to steps2connect.org for all of your business consulting and professional consulting needs. And if you want to order any one of the books, you can go to Amazon and you can look for War Wounds on the Battlefield of Love or I Support Her, the Anthology. And I'm on all social media platforms under either Tyishua McCoy, Tyishua Time, and Steps to Connect or Build Not Break. So all of those are on Instagram as well as Facebook.
If you can't remember any of that, go to my page and I will most definitely direct you to this one right here. So yeah, I'm so excited you came today.
This was
Aisha, do you have a reading for her?
Well, I was.
She was all into the conversation. She hadn't done the cards.
I can't
actually,
wait.
well, I
Oh my
mean,
God, we gonna definitely have to have some girl time.
Oh
when you
yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
yes, we can definitely do some girl time and do a personalized reading.
Yes.
No, as you were asking, where you posed the question about why has God called you, that was part of your reading. I was letting you know you've been called. I was already reading.
Okay. Yes. Received.
You were called to heal people because of what you've gone through and what you've experienced in your life. There's no better person than to do that because you have experienced it, and because you know that you can empathize with people, and you'll have a way to bring forth that message so that it resonates and it sticks. And like I said before, the reason why you are experiencing things with the other people that you deal with one-on-one is God is calling you to deal with things in your life that you have to face.
Yeah.
And you'll do that. So it's like when you help others, you're also helping yourself at the same time. And it happens quite often when I do readings. The interesting about it is you and I have a lot of things in common with our background and everything. And so when I'm often reading somebody, I'm also getting a message for myself. And so that's kind of how it's playing out in your situation. Every time you heal somebody, you're healing that aspect of yourself.
Oh, yes.
So that's why you've been called.
It's so crazy. Yesterday, she showed up at the office for me. She don't know me that well. Let's go back a little bit further.
Yeah.
When I posted and I saw you, I was like, she need to be a part. Remember we had this conversation. I was like, I met her, but one, did I connect with her on a different level? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm always looking at your postings and stuff like that. And when I saw you, I was like, she'd be perfect for it because Karen had just said she had an event going on and that she could probably pop in. But I'm like, well, I need somebody that's gonna be there with me,
Right.
And I know she got her thing she got going on. And then you
I was like, yes.
oh my God. And so when I text you back, I was like, I was excited, right? It was like, then she got excited. And I'm like, oh my God.
We were like, in a moment of heaven, and it felt really good.
It did.
It felt really good.
It really did. And I'm thinking, I met her almost a year now, right? And we just didn't connect. In fact, I met her sitting in this chair that she's sitting in.
Yes,
with the same background.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep. And did.
Yes.
And I felt your spirit, and I knew that there was a spirit of humility with you, and I love your tenacity. I love that you had this absolute beautiful energy about yourself. So I knew at some point it was going to come full circle. Mm-hmm. Just didn't know when, because timing is everything, as you know, Aisha. Right. And then when I inboxed you the other day, and I was just like, "How are you doing? You doing all right? Everything is good." And you was like, "Long week." And and I could feel that through the message. I didn't even have to hear her voice. I felt it. And then she was just letting me know all these things that were taking place over the course of the week, and I'm like, let me go over there and share some love, because you know, you don't never know what a person may be dealing with or going through or how they're feeling. And, you know, sometimes a smile, a talk, a conversation, or even the walk around the mall can, you know, bring, you know, just a little bit of excitement and some healing, you know, and some
And it
self-preservation.
was so good. It was
And it
so
was.
good to have two, not one friend show up, but two friends show up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, all four of my friends. On the
So
19th.
this was good.
So,
yes.
yes.
So this was good.
So
stuff.
yes, this was good. This was good. So you know, I think at the end of the day, the healing, I'm about to cry now.
Oh.
At the end of the day, the healing is good.
Yeah.
And this was
I do see a lot of
show.
projects and stuff for you in the future. It is just like you said, timing. It's interesting you use that word. There are going to be some things that are going to be revealed to you in divine timing. That's going to allow you to elevate and expand on the projects that you have in place. I see the world, which is like completion for you. So some of the things that you've been working on, they're going to come full circle. So just be patient and be waiting for that.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, that felt
Yes,
good.
I'm getting chills.
There you go.
Yes, that felt good.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, thank you, Aisha. Oh my
You're
God.
very welcome.
Oh, this is amazing. You know, this was so needed. You said it.
Yeah,
You said it.
Needed.
This was
much needed. And so
thank you for letting me connect with your audience. You know,
no, absolutely. That's what we're here for. I mean, me and Aisha, we've been doing this for years now, and you know,
awesome.
like I said, my little sister, and we pull each other up. We're there for one another, and you know, if we can help and be there for whatever you got going on, you know, call us. You know.
So, what part of Texas you in?
I'm in Irving, which is about 20 minutes from Dallas.
Okay, so I'm actually probably going to be there before the 19th. So I may be looking you up. My son and his wife stay there. I was just there not too long ago because I just had my 4th grandbaby. So I was there at Southwestern Hospital. We were in Dallas, and I was staying downtown Dallas at their Airbnb. They have an Airbnb there. And I absolutely had an awesome time, even though it was a snowstorm.
Oh,
and I was just like, really? Is this a snowstorm? And they didn't scrape nothing. Let me tell you. Well, nothing scraped. Them highways and byways was
ice is better than it was last year. Remember? Power and everything went out.
Oh yes, they were in that too, and they were like, Mama.
It was bad. Yes, last year was worse.
So we had to go get water. We couldn't. I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, this is not good. So yeah, you just may see me before.
Okay.
Yay!
Definitely, yay!
So anyway, back to the so March 19th, at Military Circle Mall. The event is going to be held from 12 noon to 6 p.m. You can meet Aisha. She'll be there with her jewelry. DJ T Nice will be there helping with the videography and things that's going on. We're going to help small businesses. We're going to do interviews with small businesses. So be prepared to talk about your business. No one can talk about your business no better than you can.
Absolutely.
So the interview will go quick. It'll be fast. And I'm going to get at least 20 to 30 interviews. Make that happen that day. So we're going to go. You get to meet this lady in the breakout sessions. We also have a couple more people that's going to be leading in the breakout sessions. We're going to be interviewing them. So we won't reveal them until we bring them to the show. So you can talk about them because today is all about her and making it happen here at SKST Radio. Aisha, you have anything else you want to add?
I just wanted to just say thank you for coming on this show. We appreciate you. I love your energy. Cannot wait to meet you in person and be able to speak to you. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. You know, sometimes we go through things to help us elevate, and it's very important to see the light in all that we do. So I just wanted to leave you with that word.
Nice. Any last minute words for me?
Just as you're out there and you're going about your day, you know, just remember that, you know, in order to heal, it must be revealed. You know, so just continue to keep talking, loving, and living in your purpose.
Amen.
I always say God first, and it takes teamwork to make the dream work. Until next week, guys. Bye-bye. Y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for a great show. Awesome. All right. Love you, Aisha.
Love you too. I'll see you. Bye. Bye.